Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Terra Invicta, episode number 11 in our series as the Academy. And I want to keep focusing on those story elements, but we're back in from the last one. We went about a month off camera, and now we have actually gotten these HAB modules onto Mars. I want to just quickly mention to you what a big difference that made. Previously our water was at some, I think it was 4.341.5, and I don't remember what the radios, the fissiles were, but a huge impact to water and a huge impact to our base metals. This went up by 50%, which is also still, a big deal. But basically getting Mars is, I don't know, it's so potent. And I probably should be putting down, even though, we don't have as many resources that we're going to be gathering from a place like Acidalia Planitia. But we can still get a lot of water and base metals, and I don't know. I mean, these first three they're still very important. So probably anything which has any either noble or fissiles, I should just make sure I'm putting everything down for that. So that I guess I'm looking at you, Xantha Terra. Do you already have stuff? No, you don't. But what did I do? Is that on my base? Did I click on someone else's base? No, it's definitely here. It's Cicero base. And it definitely doesn't have anything. So yeah, this will be a good candidate for me to start building some more stuff here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start building more stuff. Yeah, Mars is a very good place, and we should suction it. I also want to make sure I stand back a little bit from getting too many asteroids, because eventually I will get a mission control penalty for too many bodies. And a lot of the good stuff that I need is right here on Mars. So I talk about claiming other things, but I'll have to be a little bit reserved about that. This is an interesting probe that has arrived on Lutetia, and I wanted to go over to it because it looked good enough to potentially abandon my policy of never taking another asteroid, which is not like an official policy, but turns out humanity first has got here first. Well, good on them. I mean, I don't think that they have established anything other than... Oh, okay, so this is going to be built in 2029. So this is pretty far away. Obviously, it's going to take a year for them to get there. But, nonetheless, these are really good ratios. And once the outpost is set up, assuming that they have any bonuses, they'll also get nice bonus to this stuff here. It has like a good balance, especially I was interested in it mostly because we have huge water supplies right now. But we don't have as much on volatile and on base metals, and noble metals is obviously one of our weaker categories. Well, the weakest category. But we'll have to skip this one. Okay, well, we finished a new tech, and Project Exodus led the way on this one, so they chose high energy lasers for the next research topic. So that's nice that we are actually seeing a different category. It gets us nicely around this, so I can actually put more time and effort into this one. I might actually just start trying to control all three. Main reason for that would be just I'm actually quite interested in some of the faction projects that are arriving here. But on top of that, I do want to shift a little bit of my research away from being too greedy to starting to help out the global tech field, because this is basically ultimately a fight us against the aliens, and I want to do my part. But anyways, it's really nice. This is a nice spread. I think I already showed, maybe I didn't, that we got executive privilege. I finished whatever the one... Oh yeah, management. I wanted to actually do another line of management, so maybe not that far in, only 361. I think I might actually even do that first. 5,000, for now, I've kind of deemed 5,000 my breaking point. So we only done 300. I'm going to switch over to that. One other thing to show you is that I did take the middle control point from the initiative. They were abusing their privileges. They were using spoils, which I don't allow. So in order to be not so horribly over the control point cap, we just gave up some more of South America, and we'll just continue to cycle points in and out. Another 5 points will be useful, and of course I'm looking for further faction techs, which will help that to keep us expanding as big as possible. Oh boy, man. I almost feel like you could interpret it at least as making fun of religion. The way they portray Judith Howell, and how crazy she is, or how I think the way we're supposed to perceive her as basically being crazy. and yet her also strong attachment to some Christian faith. Anyway, we have actually done high energy lasers before anything else, which is the technology that was just chosen by Project Exodus. Turns out that was, the very early tech. You probably noticed it, but I forgot to look, that it was only 1,000, not 10,000, not 5,000. It was only 1,000, and I was able to take it. So I can go back and do one in this, and then one in whatever we choose here. As far as the next tech goes, I actually don't even know what we want to do, so I'll probably take a quick cut. Okay, well, I think I've decided what I'm going to do. Of course, I might change my mind on the fly here, but basically we have a relatively good bonus for military science. It's more than our energy bonus, and those are two categories which are missing. Another one is biology, and I really do want to get to settlement habs and orbitals, actually, especially orbitals first, so that once mission to the inner planets is unlocked, we're ready to go with tier 2 stuff. But although we do have a very nice bonus for the space science, which is at 36%, our military science is at 50%, and the principles of space warfare is going to be needed. I mean, heck, even for very simple things, non-military things like colony habs, ring habs, eventually you need that. I mean, this, it's a very basic tech, only 1,000. It buys me a little bit of time to figure out what I actually want to do, but I think what I want to do in the meantime is try to get our biology science rating up even higher, and that way I can really motivate myself to do one of these two. We should be able to take principles of, and I am going to do this one, but we should be able to take principles of space warfare pretty easily on our own, even with my dropping this down to only 1 bar. So hopefully this is enough. If we end up having some problems finishing if we end up having a challenge to take this one to keep the lead, I may just once again drop off quantum computing. It's impossible for anybody else to achieve the max as much of us as us. So we for sure get to control the tech after quantum computing. I just like to push technology ahead because, again, it is still a race against the aliens. Well, I think it's time for me to push a few more resources into space, since we're making a good amount of space resources. So let's, feed the system, give them something more to be expended on. I'm probably just going to occupy all of Leo 1 with whatever is remaining there. Let's see, there's 3 dangerous objects there, there's 1 there, and ISS has 2. I think that was from me, right? Or there was an impact which added that. It's really relatively small numbers, for the moment at least. But that doesn't mean that a bad event can't happen. It very well can. Anyway, we'll found one here, take me there. The Pushkin station is, it needs some more parts, right? We know what we want to do. We want to do kind of the same thing. We're going to put a solar collector on. And then we'll also be given... so I haven't put a construction module here, which we may want a space dock at some point, but I guess for now I might just do more sciencey stuff. That's at least my intention right now. I actually do want the +1 bonus to alien detection, because I'm looking for an alien to detain. I've been chasing shadows, basically chasing question marks or unidentified contacts on the map. None of them so far have been an alien. So we'll put one xenology lab here, which has the benefit of also aiding our xenology research by 10%. It's very, very, very big. Actually, much more than you get from the other labs. And then I was debating whether or not we want materials, whether or not we want information, which gives us knowledge, which is very useful, or if we want to try to boost our life science. Now, the discerning eye, must pay attention to the fact that this takes 5 energy. Okay, good. So we for example, we can't do an energy lab. It takes 8 energy, and we would be deficit of 3. But we can do... I think we'll end up doing a materials lab because I do want the bonus to military tech. Getting that going as early as possible is going to pay dividends. I mean, you could say that about anything. You definitely could say that about the knowledge one. In fact, let's cancel for a second and really reconsider. I have been using a lot of information science. How is my information science? Oh, it's only 32. So that one could, I honestly, that one really could stand to be pushed a little bit higher. Social science is at 54, which is pretty good. Information science, that's obviously it's the quantum computing type stuff we're doing now, but also the knowledge bonus. Okay, I've talked myself into it. The very next one we will do, well, a different one. And you know what? Why wait? Why not just immediately go and get that other station? So this will be the last station anybody can found on Leo 1. We will take it. We'll also be going up to Leo 2. I think we're already there, in fact. But, okay, so now what I know I want to do, well, it's the same thing. Another solar collector, build in space. We want another, so this time we're going to do material science lab, or materials lab. And last time we did xenology. We could do, I think we can do, what did we do? Oh, this is 6. Ay, did I not notice that? That's a 6. And we only have 10 coming in from our input. That's fine, by the way. We can just add another solar collector. In fact, if we're going to do... did we do it here? Okay, this is 10. This is 5. So materials lab. Because we're doing the materials lab, let's do like the life science one here, I guess. So I have the 3%. Yeah. And xenology was 5. Huh. Okay, bummer. Okay, materials lab. So we did it. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. No cause for alarm. Because the station we just founded, I guess, if I can look at them, shouldn't be a big deal. Earth, latest 2. Okay, yeah, here they are. So this is 1, which has Xeno and information. That's 5 and 6. Okay, we're not too late to save this one. We would rather delete it, I think. But what I can do to salvage the situation is just put another solar collector on here. Pretty inefficient. I might as well put an energy one on. But energy does boost. And that we don't really need that, so that's fine. We'll just build this in space. 2 solar collectors in order to get the one extra missing power that we would have had. But hey, it's better to have it online than not. So I'll just have to pay attention to that kind of stuff in the future. So we have information, we have xenology, and then we have material science and life science. That's good. I can continue going too. There's no real reason to stop. Except for that our mission control will eventually be eaten up. I do like a little bit of spare mission control for a pinch, for like, you know, an emergency, I guess. I think we'll stop here for now and just check on the tech real fast to see are we going to get it. I had this pumped up at 3, but we're just about to overtake, so I'm going to pump it down to 2. Initiative really wants this, and it's only 1,000, so it'll probably be done before anything else, and especially I can't do anything really. We've got to focus on getting principles, just because I don't know what the initiative is going to do, and I frankly don't trust them. Alright, this is really funny. It actually came down to the very last tick. The very last day is when I finally overcame the initiative for research, so it was extremely close, but we got it. Not really that we really needed to, but I just don't know what the initiative was going to do. And now we need to take another moment and think about what we want to do. Well, the good news is at least I'm starting to put up some kind of biology stuff, and we're up to 15% as it is. Life science it's called. We know that we'll have some more information science going up. We'll also have some material science going up, but the material science is already being used, so we don't need to worry about that. Information science is already being used. We know xenology research will get a bump as soon as that other lab goes up, so really I guess the only one left to do is to put our resources to work on the biology front. Yeah, I think that I would prefer to get orbitals tier 2 here first. And that is, biology is obviously an open category. So I'm probably going to let whoever wants to take this take it, because I just don't have I don't want to purge my other research so much, sacrifice everything to keep this control of this last node. We'll take, the outer 2 again, and we'll just, once again, if nobody else pushes hard, I can go 1, even up to 2 for a short amount of time to try to take control. But if somebody really wants it, I'm not going to pursue this one. I'll give it back up. At least we will have gotten a couple more techs in the way that, in the direction that I want to go. And we're definitely going to have quantum computing. That's going to feed to quantum encryption. We'll see that soon enough. This one, I don't know where we'll go from there. But yeah, I don't know. I like the way the directions we're going. Nobody we haven't pursued too poor of pursuits. Like, I don't like some of the social science type ones, but luckily those haven't been picked yet. Alright, I should be given time updates. It is now the middle of April 2028, so we're progressing nicely through the year in this episode. And our modules have all finished, so I expect that we're going to get a whole bunch of things here. Have module. But all of these things are done, and I think that they are now... Are they done? Producing? Yeah, so that means our bonus should have gone up. Yep. Life science is now up to 18. Material science is up to 60, and I think it was 50. I thought it was 58 before, but it's 57? Or no, there's diminishing returns after some point. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm not exactly sure. Of course, please let me know. Correct me if you know. Because maybe it's something obvious I'm missing. In any case, yeah, xenology... What did it go up by? Well, it went up in any case, and I think this one went up as well because I was expecting early June. This one went up, but I can't really even tell you how. Okay, anyway, middle of April. Finish this off. We'll keep chugging along. Great. Alright, so we have completed Ferrocide Liability Theory, which gives us, well, gives aliens a -2 enthrall mission against... Basically, they can't steal our control points quite as easily. What's interesting is that's actually the more difficult of the exact same 2 mission types that become available. Executive Protection is exactly the same thing, -2 to missions against our control points for half the cost. This is only 5,000 instead of 10,000, which is the one we just produced. So that's obviously a front runner for what to do next, basically make our control points. I don't know if that makes it even difficulty, or what makes it roughly the same difficulty as enemy agents trying to come in. And they're having a hard time already, so I think we're doing okay. I mean, basically just got to control... the aliens obviously have a harder time because they can't really garner interest. Basically have to use the servant's interest. Another interesting one was maybe PsyOps. Not really... the more I thought about this, though, we probably don't benefit that much from this. We'd probably be better off doing, if we want to do military tech, like mountain warfare, because the PsyOps is unrest increases by 3 in nations conquered by our armies. And as Academy, I think that you don't really go too gung-ho with the throwing around of military might on the world map. So let's go with Executive Protection. I also like it specifically because it is giving us a chance to use our pretty high bonus to xenology. And this is almost end of April. Middle of May, and we've completed management research yet again. So we're up to, I mean, we're just perpetually over the command point limit. That's a situation I'm willing to live with in order to control a lot of things. But yeah, okay, so we finished this. What's next? That's so funny that a project like this popped up, because I was going to say we will probably want to do military tech. I don't think that this one will be the one we do, but it may be. No, I think that we're probably going to do mountain warfare doctrine, because this is I think the most relevant to the potential near future, where we may be fighting some forces on the ground. If it ends up coming to that, I mean, that's what the United States is there for, after all. Alternatively, we could just do yet another thing of management research. I'm still thinking in my head it might be worth even one more round. I'm kind of on the edge. If I got the 6,000 cost version, I probably would not get the 7. I mean, I say that now, but there's a lot... Eventually there'll be much more efficient techs for getting faction points, but they are limited. You know, this is the only one that you can continually research. Otherwise, we have less... There had been other texts which have popped up. I probably didn't show you all of them. I don't think I showed this one. For example, we got Civil Defense Programs. Reduces the damage from nuclear strikes by 20%. Hey, if this was like 50%, I'd probably be all for it. I just would rather not be nuked. That's gonna be... That's my mitigation strategy, is just not to be nuked at all. Here's the patrol vessels, TIOPS. Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, I think Mountain Warfare Doctrine would be good to put in the time and just do it while we don't have anything else, which is conflicting. We have pretty good research bonus. Just try to get that one done. It's going to take quite a long time. Of course, it's not a high priority. If anything high priority comes along, we can bump it. But otherwise, it'll take about, like 7 months, basically, to get it. And then at least we'll be able to fight better in the mountains. Now, this may happen from time to time, where people steal various technologies. Now, as far as I know, they don't steal any research points into it. They just steal the ability to research it. But I wouldn't be upset with the Resistance having this anyway. The Resistance isn't like the worst enemy of ours. I mean, they don't hate us entirely. Well, they didn't. Let's see how they're doing now. Yeah, they're at war with the servants, they're at war with the aliens, and they're in conflict with us, but they're also tolerant of Project Exodus. So frankly, I think they're very good. I like everything about this. Hey, guess what? Humanity First is finally at war with the aliens, which is great to see. They finally changed their tune. I still don't understand why they are only in conflict with the servants, but I suspect that over time that will continue to drift in the negative way. And we're still in May here. It's just been a busy May. We also I decided to spend some points trying to stop the servants from making progress. They made 6,000 progress on Hydra language. I don't really know how early or late or whatever this is, but there we go. Wow, that's a pretty good roll too. But we've done that to stop any kind of progress, and I'll probably do that every time they get around 6,000. My reason for using 6,000 is just that sometimes they just go silent. You can't find an operative or whatever, so you need like a little bit of buffer just in case you miss it. Okay, another tech down. We have now finished next generation aerospace, which doesn't really give us all that much. Okay, no, I take that back. This gives us improved shipbuilding techniques, which yeah, we probably won't end up using. Actually, this does increase the maximum military tech for all human nations by 0.5. Gives our counselors new aircraft, which I'm not even sure if I paid attention to that. But okay, so we're gonna get a couple things here. One is to improve Navy. We have, I think some of these are to improve boost. We'll take it, but probably not like super high priority. And the good news is, you know, we're gonna get these faction techs first because we are the one who researched it with the biggest contribution. The next tech it's kind of a good question. There's a couple that I've been thinking about. There is high temperature superconductors, which will get us down the fusion line, and that is always very good. There's also, I mean, because we just finished a material science category, and we have the highest percentage with that, so it's a pretty natural thing that we might continue down another material science category. And by the way, I know I can sort these, and yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me to do that. But I was also thinking, what if we go into, not this, is it this? Well, I think I found the one I was looking at, but it's Integrated Earth Space Economy, which has the things I was mentioning, but this one is so far away from being realized that yeah, I mean, if we could do militarization of space for this, and then our space future, we need so much for that. Oh man, we need so much for our space future. Quantum computing, I guess we're getting that, and then we don't have space research. Okay, so we could do space research. Why don't we just start doing this? Why don't we start doing space research? Because do we have a free spot? Yeah, we do. We do have a free spot. So it should either be one of the material science ones, or should be one of these. Since at the exact moment we aren't doing any social science, and I don't think we need to necessarily, we might try to sneak in one of the social science ones here. Space research, not space commerce, but space research, because it'll be very short, and it does progress us in the direction we want to go. By the way, orbitals, as you can clearly see, Project Exodus decided that they wanted it. I probably could get it if I went to 3 or whatever, but I'm actually okay. Project Exodus, I generally, unlike with Initiative, I generally respect what Project Exodus wants to do, so I'll let them take the lead on that one. Just yet again, there's a funny quotes from good old Judith. Schrodinger's cat, I guess, is the reference here, which is pretty interesting little thing. Okay, so we completed quantum computing. This one, not a very difficult choice as to what we want to pick next. Now, I guess the only question is whether or not to go quantum encryption or cybernetics. Getting cybernetics to get cybernetic implants would be pretty quick to pick up. We happen to have enough money, at least for now, that we could actually make some money, use some money to improve our agents, which would be good. By the way, I've been slowly improving XP for like persuasion, administration's basically max, a couple points in command. I'll show off my agents in another little cut. But our command point just keeps climbing and climbing. But getting cybernetics would also help that, because we could choose the appropriate cybernetics, get some more points. Especially, I think right now we're kind of looking at maybe improving investigation and espionage. Science is always a nice one to improve. It basically very minor amount of impact on science research, but more importantly, helps against some of the alien attacks. So if we do this, then we have to go to covert operation. But if we are the ones to push quantum encryption and get there first, we will get covert operations faster than anyone else, which is very important. I don't know. Gosh darn it. Increase maximum military. We're already way over where we can get to, so this wouldn't be that important, but cybernetic implants would be very nice to have. I think I'm going to go quantum encryption, because I do want that 6th agent a little bit faster. And I think we can get around not having cybernetics. Well, I frankly don't even remember sending something to Hestia, but it sounds like something I would do. What were the resources on this site? Oh yeah, really good volatiles, but otherwise, frankly, not the best site. It's probably not one that I would necessarily want to keep in hindsight. But here we are, so the mission control cost has already been paid. Do we want to just, I don't know, what would solar collector look like out here? It would give us 2. Yeah, that's not going to help us. Well, we could build this in space in 30 days, which I'm not even sure how that's possible. We must be really close to Mars or something, because I don't have any construction point in orbit or anything. Let's see. Does this have? Let me just quickly see. Does this have fissiles? No. It's pretty pathetic, except for with volatiles. But volatiles, I do have a need. There is a need there. I guess it would basically just be self-sufficient. I mean, paying for itself effectively in terms of normal metals and these other ones, noble metals. Oh, I don't know why I can't remember those names. Let's do it. I mean, I may end up abandoning this one, but whoops. I do want to build a mine there, yes. So this is going to have a monthly support cost of 1.4, 1.4, some 6 money, and 8 power. That's fine. We can get, satisfy all that, and then basically the fissiles income is going to be the real drain here. And it's only 0.05. That's not too bad. Okay, yeah, and it will definitely pay for itself in terms of the resources. So let's just do it. I don't expect that this is one I'm gonna try to keep forever and ever and ever, but for now, let's just do it, because we already committed to it, effectively. And then maybe at some point I can just sell this base. It would be a great base for anybody to have. Like this one, Calliope, doesn't really have as much volatiles or water as the previous one, but it really has quite a substantial amount of base metals and noble metals. I don't know what the range it is. 2.9, so it's pretty far out there. Oh, okay. Well, take it all back. Looks like this one's already, already being taken. So they went with the construction module and an outpost mining for the cost of 2 fissiles. Yeah, I might end up doubling up some things, you know. I mean, obviously we're leaving a little bit of energy in the wind right now if I doubled up with fissiles. Basically, as soon as I get tier 2 stuff, I can do a little bit of expansion. But for now, I think just 1 mining complex, 1 fission pile is good enough. Well, another tech just became available, and I don't even really care about it. But we're going to switch over to it anyways, just because it is a slightly better improvement of boost. I don't even know if I'm investing in boost anywhere. I think in the US I have 1 pip of 1 category, of 1 control point invested in this just so it doesn't deteriorate. Oh my gosh, Kazakhstan. I don't even know what's going on with Kazakhstan, but I should go check that out. Anyways, anybody who's investing in boost is not going to be able to take my modifier, but there's a lot of boost investment going on from other nations, other factions. Still, I think it's worthwhile to get this. Just one of those, you know, I don't have any other energy items going on right now. We have time to do it. If for some reason boost suddenly became really important, like one thing I could do is swap out some of my boost increasing organizations and do science increasing ones instead. Once we have enough boost, we can do that as well, but this will be helpful. I think it'll be nice just to have this tech in our back pocket. We don't need the mountain warfare right away, so that's why. Alright, well we just picked up a couple of new techs that I don't need to showcase right away, but one of them is the Navy one I talked about, the 5% investment boost. And then another one was just another 15% boost. I think it's scramjets or something like that. Yeah, scramjets. So now another 15% boost to boost. But let's go check out this this new module on series, which I think is pretty cool. Because I think that we're probably going to want to use at least one of these immediately. So let's just see which ones. Oh, okay, that's awesome that we're sharing this with Humanity first. And I said I might want to get one of these, but I'm probably going to want to get both. These are both good. Unsurprisingly, these are both very good. Yeah, we don't need the resources that they offer, and it's going to be another 2 pips of mission control, but if anything, Ceres deserves it, right? So let's not found a platform, but just go to the Outpost core and do the usual thing here. Fission pile. Building space. I don't know. I'm okay, so I'm frankly just not understanding why it only takes 30 days to send this to Ceres when we don't have anything construction related anywhere close to here. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it's a display missed, but I don't. That's not the way it's supposed to work. I don't think it's supposed. Here we go. At least it's going to take 60 days for an outpost mining complex. That makes sense. Let's go over to our other site and also do the same. So basically this fission pile gives us 10, this takes 8, right? Yeah. So if there was a science lab that would only cost 2, we could do it. Or we could double up on the fission piles and then we could get 1 lab. Now that does have, that would be helpful, right? It doesn't cost us any more mission control to do these kind of things. It'll just take away maintenance. And we already have really good income. So there's something to be said about doing that. But the fission income that we have is only 0.68. I guess that's a day. That's actually pretty good. Let's look at the fission pile. Okay, so this is the monthly support cost, 0.05. That's not that much. And we know that, for example, we get out of this, is it this one or one of the two here? We're going to get 0.25, and that's going to actually be multiplied. So this can actually handle 5 fission piles by itself. Well, 5, times 1.7, so even higher than that, it can handle a lot. 8. It's going to handle 8. 8 fission piles by itself, and with a little bit left over. So yeah, anyways, we know for sure that we're going to want to take both these sites and completely fill them out. So let's at least do the outpost mining, and let's do the fission pile. And we could just think about whether or not we want to put another fission pile and another lab. We won't do that on Ceres. Where we would do that would be on Mars. Wow, that's a lot of aliens. Yeah. Great, we've completed aerospike engines, which gives us one of the 15% bonuses, and we know that there's another 15% bonus out there for us here. Another 1,000, this will be finished pretty quickly. Again, energy research, not what we're using right now, so it just makes sense to knock these two out. I don't know if we'll do the Navy one. Yeah, this one's military. It's only, it is 5,000. We aren't doing military right now, so I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it in about a month, because it's just about the end of June. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, these are going to be the tougher calls, the 0.43 fissiles opportunities, because obviously this is now actually a meaningful impact. Turns out this is also not already taken. It would only be for fissiles. I think I'm going to leave it alone for now. I mean, what I'd like to do is, I haven't done this at all yet, is just see what all is offered in terms of opportunities to get fissiles. I'm not super interested in the Kuiper Belt yet. So Luna, that one, I think was it taken by I don't know who took the one with the massive well, I can just go find out, I guess. No, it's only 2.4 and 2.4. Well, then in that case, Mars is much, much, much better off in terms of fissiles. What did I miss it? Yeah, it says that Mars is, I guess maybe this is the average one? Because why is the moon, it looks like it has less to me. Anyway, that's Luna and Mars. Oh, they're both at 2. So 3 is all in the Kuiper Belt. Fine. There's also a main asteroid, which we've already surveyed this one. 2.4? Wait a second. Oh, yeah, Exodus has this one at 2.3 fissiles. That's a really, really good one. So look, I'm debating whether or not to do one which is like 0.45 or whatnot. And honestly, this is it, right? Yeah. So I'm doing 0.43, and there's one that's like 2 point something that they're sitting on. But it shows you that even though this is, this is 0.43, and it's about 1/7 that other asteroid. But that other asteroid happens to be one of the best in the entire solar system, to our knowledge at least. So we're debating, okay, yeah, well, it's 1/6 of the other one, but that other one happens to have the highest fissile, well, average, I guess this must be average site fissiles compared to everywhere else in the solar system, which means that nobody has an average higher than 2 point whatever, which makes sense. Now we're doing okay on fissiles, so I think what I am going to do is let this one go for now. What other places? Yeah, there's some others. Yeah, those are going to have even less. In fact, probably is one of these the ones I'm looking at right now? Maybe. It is! There it is! Okay, so Parthenope is exactly the one we're looking at when we look at this list yet again. There it is. It is considered one of the best in the solar system, mostly because we don't know a lot of them. Probably that's the real consideration here. But, a lot of the ones that we don't know about, I don't think that we're going to find many which have a better fissile rating than the ones we have here. Who knows? Alright, really not bad. We have finished the executive protection. Another -2. I think there's even another one beyond this, but it's like even more points. We don't have access to it yet. I don't even know if we really need it right now. Okay, we can't do... Wait a second. Can we do material science? We can. Not that we particularly need 15% more water, but more anything is always good. Like, why like, turn down free stuff? And are we doing anything military-wise? That's another option. So it probably comes down to either mountain warfare or I think a rare opportunity to try to squeeze in some of this. I don't even think we'll finish it before we have time. Before we're using material science for another tech. But I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. Again, we don't really need this much water. I don't think, well, especially with the series stuff coming along soon. We'll probably have some kind of insane water thing. water income. In which case, you know, we're going to want to... Well, we'll find uses for it, I'm sure. Okay, scramjets are now done. More boost to our non-existent boost increasing. But that's okay, maybe one day. And I think that at this point we just pick up where Mountain Warfare left off. That's a nice one to have. The alternative, I thought there was one that... Yeah, I think it was Psyops as the alternative. I mean, eventually we're going to need to get some spaceship components, but I will continue to defer that to the very last moment in my absurd attempt to min-max the getting all the good techs first, because it's not even we're not even sure if we'll be fighting on the ground or in space first. Probably on the ground if we don't ever research space components. So it's a toss-up whether Mountain Warfare is going to be more useful or less than, you know, all the space warfare components. But I'm going to stick with this one. Looks like the Hestia post is done. And yep, that was nice. That was a nice increase. In fact, the base metals is actually looking quite good now. Is that because of this guy? No, not because of this guy. Oh my gosh, volatiles. Holy moly. Probably not a good place. We'll probably end up abandoning this. I know that it does have... I mean, that must have been like 40, 50. I already don't know what the base volatiles here was. It's good. But, yeah, okay, maybe I will keep it. I mean, volatiles is important. We'll find out. We're basically just trying to figure out how to distribute our mission control. You know, without... Especially we don't want to suffer a penalty for being too spread out. This hasn't happened for a while, so we have another UFO, another alien joining the planet. Okay, well it's the beginning of August, and we've finished the Orbitals one, which is very nice, but unfortunately Project Exodus chose Mission to the Inner Planets. Now that's not that big of a deal, because it's something we want, and it's going to take a very long time to finish. And it also, you know, it's doing space science, which we're not doing, so, you know, it's not, like, inefficient from that really ridiculous way I always try to save, like, 2% on research. It's not even worth it, really, probably. But anyway, downside of this, though, is that I think that there are better things to have chosen, just opportunity cost. It's fine. I mean, we were sacrificing control of one of the three. Hopefully this gets a lot of interest from everyone, so that this tech progresses pretty quickly. On the other hand, quantum encryption is not slated to be done until 2031. That is not acceptable. At least space research is just about to finish, and we'll have control of that. So we'll figure out where to go with that next. Alright, so we have finished now space research, and we took control of that one, which means that we should have first access to the mobile space science lab. By the way, I have been, you know, every now and then looking at these quotes, pointing them out. This one, if you want to read it, it just kind of highlights, I think, the idealist and really pure nature of the Academy, which, you know, I'm starting to think I like more and more. The deeper we go and the decisions that they make, which are, they take the high road. They're not willing to sacrifice everything to save Earth, and it's possible that may lead to Earth's destruction. But to fall on moral, like to maintain the high ground. I mean, it's a very interesting situation. You know, it's certainly a philosophical topic that people have debated. You know, what do you do? Do you like actively change a train's direction to kill less people, but knowing that your action is the thing that killed them, versus letting your hands go and more people die? It's that kind of question. It's not exactly like that, because I think this is a different situation, but it's those kind of things where the Academy's trying to take the ideal approach. Anyway, okay. So next tech. Right now we are looking at quantum encryption. So we have the information science, space science, material science, and we have military. Actually, military was one of the things I was considering doing. We can, if we want, switch this over to a social science, but if we look over here, let's see, what do we want to do? I think we're going to end up taking... there's a few good ones. Let me actually check which of these we want, but I believe we're going to end up doing a social science. Well, I think there are plenty of options for us to go for here. But I think I'm going to go with international development, Arrival International Development, because it has some really good faction text that spins off from this. And this is actually, believe it or not, a requirement for that late game energy tech I was looking at, which gives you the nice GDP and all that. So getting these things will help us not in space, but on ground. But I am planning the very next, I think the very next material science will do high temperature superconductors and maybe start going down fusion. We can get diamondoids for the nice armor. Now we can keep picking at the science options. But that's what I'm going to do for now. Arrival International Development. We aren't doing any other social science, so it kind of is a nice time for us. Otherwise, if I went with the material science here, I'd have to get rid of water purification, and that wouldn't be a big deal. But I think that this will work out really well. Oh, also, just to let you know, I'm trying to detain an alien now because I have a new servant trader.
I'm ready to sabotage the mission.
That's the trick here. So hopefully I get to advance our plot line. Okay, we've done it. We have done it. After killing one, we've now captured a live alien. It is impossible to describe the sensation of gazing upon a creature from another world with one's own eyes. No words could adequately explain how uncanny it feels to see such a thing move and draw breath, and turn its own unquestionably alien eyes upon us. Even had we sent a poet, they would not be able to convey the mingled sense of awe and wrongness, the terrifying privilege of beholding something that does not resemble anything else in human experience. The shape of the hulking skull, the tendrils that dance down unnaturally within the mouth, the way the light plays across flesh, textured and patterned like nothing else on earth. Even these beings' sounds challenge our very definition of language. The idea that we could ever know their mind seems, for now, frankly laughable. Let us hope that will change soon. Regardless of the fleeting encounters we or others might have had previously, and no matter what happens next, this is a watershed moment, never to be forgotten. Well, sorry about the background noise. Basically, this is trying to get this out as quickly as possible, but I ran into a week being gone for a business conference, so... Anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. Well, let's take me there. And we'll probably have a new pop-up about... Wow. We have completed the Capture a Live Hydra objective. The fight was neither neat nor pretty, but we have our Hydra. This time we were better prepared due to our analysis of Hydra biology, and the price in blood was lower, although still too high. The Hydra took some wounds in the fighting, but like its namesake, it is quickly regenerating. We have assigned some personnel in an attempt to begin to build rapport with our captive. I imagine that its first response will be to attempt to enslave them with its pharocytes. Perhaps once this fails, it may start to take us more seriously. Pretty interesting. I just love the story development here. Oh, that was a interesting thing. Oh my gosh. Whoa. We have detained Xenoform Alpha 3 for interrogation. From our interrogations, we will receive a significant bonus to our xenology research going forward. That's great. Okay, well, there we go. That's that. And this is probably a good place to call this video to a close because I want to get this out quickly as possible. I was hoping to get all the way through 2028. I think we're very close to getting the next... Oh, wait, we already did. Yeah, what am I saying? So we have 3 new techs, which are going to take quite a while to get to, it looks like. 2029 for even the earliest of them. And actually, even for the earliest of our faction techs. So, I apologize for, 1, this video getting out late, 2, any background noise, especially in the last 5-10 minutes here. But yeah, just all things that personal life got in the way, and hopefully we'll be back to the usual 4-day break between, every 4 days going forward. I'm really enjoying it still, so look forward to the next one. Until then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.